Space. It seems endless, but is it endless? Who knows? What up, dogs? tejbz here, and I have a nuke on Afghanistan domination. And I actually went out on Twitter and asked for subjects to talk about, and I got a lot of funny ones. But I saw one that just says, talk about life. Do you think there's life or live? I think he meant life, but he said, is there live on other planets? But so I kind of wanted to. I've always been super fascinated about space, science fiction movies and aliens and stuff like that. When I grew up, I had such a crazy, lively, is that how you say it? Imagination. After watching the first Alien movie, I was super convinced for like a year that I had an alien in my stomach which is about to burst at pretty much any time, which is not a fun way to spend your life as I don't know how old I was, maybe like 7 or something like that, which is probably way too young to watch Alien, but that movie's still, wow, this movie's really scary and awesome. So, and also, speaking of lively imagination, I haven't even told my parents this, but I was super duper convinced. I know there's like a show called My Parents Are Aliens, and I was actually super convinced that my parents were aliens for the longest time, which is pretty insane when I think about it. But I believed it, and that was an awful death. This lobby, I've stayed in it quite long, and there was a lot of good players on the other team, which was fun to play against. I mean, every single sci-fi movie I watched, pretty much what happens if there's like aliens that come to our planet, they are usually, they're evil and they try to suck our natural resources out of our planet. And I don't know, I think, imagine this, when higher evolved civilizations. I'm not saying that the white people that came to, say, America, the Saudi Indians, they kind of killed a lot of them and exploited the Indians and stuff like that. I'm not saying that the Europeans that came were more highly evolved, but they had more weapons, they had ships so they can travel and stuff like that, and that had to do with the history of pretty much Europe having more water or something like that. So we had to evolve our ships and everything, and we had the natural resources and everything. And since the Vikings would have been traveling on sea, but on the west in America, the people didn't have evolved. They didn't have to evolve their ship making skills. So that's pretty much why the Europeans came to America and just took over everything and just really killed a bunch of Indians and stuff like that, which is really awful when you think about it. So say that there's another planet somewhere in the distance, because as we all know, the space is still expanding. It's growing constantly, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. So say that the space now is super huge, but it's still expanding and growing bigger, and it's actually accelerating in growth. So in, say, like a billion zillion light years away, there is a planet which has the similar, let's say there's a super duper small chance that there is a planet that has the capability of making life. But since the universe is expanding and it's endless pretty much, there's still an endless chance that there's going to be a planet that has the capability of sustaining life. So there's statistically and with this theory that there is more planets that has the ability to have life. So let's say those people had to evolve their ships, they have to evolve their space making things. Maybe there's a moon on real close that they need to go get like more air or something that they breathe or something that they eat or anything. So they start evolving their super duper good ships, and they come to the realization like, oh shit, now we have faster than light speed, or we have something like that, even though that Einstein said that was not even possible. So say something like that happens, that pretty much means that a civilization will be higher evolved than us. They will have more ships, they will have more resources to do, they will have better weapons because they have had like space wars and stuff like that. And then they will go out into the galaxy and start noticing stuff, and they see that we have all these super duper there's a bunch of people that we can talk, but they don't understand us and stuff, and they just come to our planet and they will gonna butt fuck us. But unless they are so evolved that they realize that just killing and slaughtering an entire planet just for their resources or just because they're higher evolved, it's not the way to do it. So I'm thinking that there are a bunch of like alien planets, but I'm not really sure that they are hostile, because if they have evolved so much, they probably have this like nirvana state of mind to be like, yo, let's not murder these people, let's just be friends. So that was my think about it. So and also there's probably planets that aren't even half as evolved as we are. So that's pretty much my life commentary on other planets. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.